Hello friends and traders, welcome back. In this demonstration we are going to freeze two frames, one in time with the frequency of 6, the natural frequency of 6 on earth time dimension, and we're going to use the frequency of 9 on the price dimension using this tool with 108 frequency. The tool is Astro Polarity. Alright, so what are we going to do here? It's pretty straightforward. What are we doing here is creating a frozen square. 108 is 1 plus 0 plus 8 is 9, and 24-hour window is 2 plus 4 is 6. So we are freezing the time which we have no control on to the 6th frequency. We could slice it further, but we are going to use the natural frequency of time of 6, and we are going to use the frequency of 9 through 108 representation of 9, because the way I explained, 1 plus 0 plus 8 is 9. So this grid which you see is just expressing that, and what we are getting here is the static square of time and price, and I'm using a time frame of 60 minutes on NQ. So what have I done by achieving that goal? I have harmonized my chart to static variables. Now the third part is the projection beams of frozen square. Now these beams belong to a specific square which will qualify one of the pivots. So I need to project a line through the sentiment of dissecting the square. Alright. What is all this chit chat? Let's show you. So we have this square which you guys all have seen many times. When I say this is a square, this is a bar based square. Bar is giving one side of the square. Big bar, small bar, there's no top, right? And you can put it on any bar. So the bar of interest which we work on is the biggest bar or the smallest bar. We don't do with anything else. In this swing, we look at the biggest bar or we look at the smallest bar. That is the only interest we have with our frequency dimensions. Alright. So why we do this is because, remember what Gann said, that do you want to go long or short, right? Stay in one side of the equation, take the single sided bias as long as you are on one side of the 45 degrees. Because that is, why 45 degrees? Why not 62, 32? Because remember, as we talked in the prior video, that the projection, the projectile goes the maximum distance at 45 degrees. And that's what we are doing here. As long as you are on this side, longs only, right? And you flip on the other side, shorts only. Alright, that's what it means. That is what it is designed to do. Other things we have shown you is looking at the biggest bar, which has to be, you're trying to use a pivot, which the pivot to pivot is a swing point, and pivot is the one we want to use for doing other kind of auto projections of these angles. But we have to qualify the pivots, which is this is also pivot, this is all pivots only, right? Pivot, 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 pivot. Which pivot is of interest? Well, this is a great pivot. So is this. Why? Because we have big bars inside this swing point. Big bars inside these swing points, right? I can use this, I can use this. This is a good one too, because there's a big bar participating in generation of this pivot. This is okay, right? So we have to have a methodology based on your research. This is all good pivots. Why? Because we have big bars in it, especially on an hourly basis. So these are all good qualified pivots. Small ones are okay. So statistical evidence shows the power place. So the reason I brought this up is slicing this square is exactly same thing we are going to do here. And I'm going to give you the rules as well, what to do with this. This is NQ charts, and we're going to pinpoint things as reflections of trend lines, and the way we describe things, we are in control. This is a good trend line too. In the retail literature, they want you to do this. I am saying you can do whatever you want. So this is all expired information. The expired information is healthy information when we can qualify the way I just explained. All right. So so keep in mind, don't get carried away how to use historical information. The way we are saying to use the historical information is by assuming there is a single natural law which the creator of the universe has, which is unknown. The only way we can see that law has been triggered is by these big bar pivots. Our job is to beam things coming out of these square edges, the way I explained, and which does one extra thing. So we know I can beam from square to square. I'm not going to do anything else. I need to go across these edges. That's rule number 1. I'm going to beam through these edges, right? That's all. They could be the red ones, red to red, or blue to blue, right? Got it? Okay, so this is a good one, right? So that is the first rule. We have to use the diagonal of this 6, 9 time price square. Oops. All right, but you can now be thinking, oh, where do I start from? Where do I end? Shall I use this? Shall I use this? Right? There's so many possibilities. Now, what we are saying is, we always say that, right? History has taken place. There's something we know stopped it here. That is already happened in the immediate future, in, or can say, immediate history, right? Because future is not there. We're going to get to the future based on this logic of law 1 has to be end to end. We are not dissecting anything. You have to go from edge to edge of 6 in time, slicing into 3 and 3, unfolding in a different way. Think that way. I have sliced this 24 hours in flipping it diagonally. I don't have to slice in the middle, 12 and 12. I'm still creating a 12. The square has been split. We can split in so many ways, right? Middle, horizontally, diagonally. I'm gonna use a diagonal split. All right, this is what we are trying to. This is the reason I brought that 45-degree big bar angle level 1 tool as well, just to show you this. Okay, but I'm saying at the same time, we are not gonna just use them from the bar to bar. We're gonna use it from an offset methodology where we need to find the qualifying square. Which one is it? This one, this one, this one, right? This one, this one. Was we are projecting something in the future. Retest on the other side, very close to the tick level accuracy. All right, this is a secret again for friends and future professional traders. All right, so that is very clear rule. The second rule, it has to. How do I qualify this? The qualification happens by the unknown hidden law of Rahu and Ketu, which is sitting right here. Unknown entities you can't see, which is right here. So this is market is telling me, again, the laws of pivots are pretty simple. It has to have one big bar. So I'm after this pivot qualification, not small pivot here, not small pivot here, right? The pivot, that's why I keep explaining that the pivots are not all pivots are equal. This is a good pivot. This is a good pivot. Why? It has a big bar. This is also good. It has a big bar. Participating in generation of these pivot points, very important for this method. All right, perfect. This is a big bar to the tick tick. This was the line which held it. Unknown square diagonals. You cannot see this unless I explain it. What are we doing with this? We're going to project it. It has to be precisely done. We project it. What are we expecting? Break, retest on the other side to the tick. This is NQ, my friends. NQ to the tick. And then we already have these grids. 200 points. Remember, we break all laws to go after cosmic 369 laws. Okay, how about this bit? Okay, it stopped here. Why? Let's assume the same thing. Where can we start from? There's so many ways to start from. I need something I'm gonna hit, but it has to hit diagonally and it has to be precise. Does it hit this way? It could. Let's do it. Here and here, right? So when I use this, I hit this. And this is a good pivot. So when this is qualified, which means I'm gonna be using this on a certain condition on the other side. Now I'm not using any oscillator again. All right, perfect. This day comes, it broke, came back, retested. Do you see how accurate we can be? Okay, this is a good pivot. If I have to use this in a diagonal fashion, right? Can I use this? Answer is no. Why? It did not touch the bottom. The diagonal has to be there. So that means this is not a good imaginative. We are looking at an extreme precision here, right? We're dealing with very large contracts. As I said, we can use a couple of things here. Either we use the red to red, it has to be precise. Can I put it here? No. Can I put it here? Not really. Can I put it somewhere else? Can you see? All right. This square. This is the square. Okay. So this is telling me which one to use. Market itself is telling me which one to use precisely, and go to the end, to the beginning and the end right here. See that? Why this is good? Big bar is there. This is a good one. And what do we expect? This is one of those laws where market is going super fast into this line. These are just, if I had one English word to give it to you, it could be wow. So what is happening here is we have qualified the future grid lines. The future box is a square. This is reflecting, this square is reflecting on this side right here. So what I'm trying to say is this square reflected in a different way into this square. Isn't it funny? Now this square which we are using is reflected on this other side on this square. Super precise. I gave it to you guys right here. Gave it to you again. One of the best trading systems. You can just do it on your own. Very simple. You have the grid. You have the projections. People charge $5,000 for this. They don't even know this, first of all. I don't know how they can charge you for what they don't know, but they just can. But again, you guys are the top brass trader at this moment in time. Do your work, and this is what it is. So our laws of grid here are doing a full natural time, midnight to midnight. Okay, this is all New York time. Second thing, we are doing 108 Vedic astrology as a time component of the square. Of the time component is 6, price component is 9, so 6 and 9. And then what are we expecting? We are beaming through the past for the future. You can use one oscillator in the end, right? Just to add additional confidence, you can use one more tool. This everything, every single thing is a system in itself. Why there are so many things, 100 things like these? Why? Because we do different things at different times for different things. As we meditate more, universe keeps giving, and we keep on crawling towards the ultimate law, which we feel this group is going to get it. If you all start meditating, Laval is going to break that mold. I think the world has been waiting for. So this is, I think it's pretty simple. So 2 things are only required, and then you wait for it. And this is exactly, now you know if there's so many grids which want to trade. It's qualified, right? All right, how about this guy? Perfect. Now you know. Now you're masters. You became a trading phenomena overnight in 19 minutes. What do I do next? How do I project this and this? Well, same thing. Is this a big bar? It is a big bar. It's already qualified. Maybe I should do something with this big bar, right? But I have to do it. Let me get rid of. So I have to do end to end. Does it work? It did not touch it, so it cannot work. This is not the right one. So it is telling me, market itself tells you what it is expecting, what it wants to do. So, okay, so how about this guy? Let's beam it. Precisely hitting this. Now it is passing and holding this pivot very nicely. From this, now I'm using this red box because we tried the blue, did not hit it. This is a very highly precision system I'm offering you as friends of 369 forecast.com, right? Okay, so there we are on this. When this is happening, this is midnight, right? You will be coming early morning. You see this, you're sitting here, sitting on this line. We're talking about 150 to 200 points. We're not looking at small things, right? Scared. Trading makes no money. If you are scared of taking this kind of loss, right? Do one MNQ. Hold. And I think within 3 months you will be getting onto one NQ, and then after 1 year you're dealing with 10 lots of NQ. Your goal is $20,000 a day. That's why we are all here gathered together to get you guys to $20,000 a day. Okay, so what next? How about this guy? Well, same thing. I need to have something to pass it through grid. Okay, I'm gonna use this. This won't work. It is missing it, right? Okay, but this is not the right one. You have to use something else. It's missing here, it's missing there. You know where we're going with this. So you have to move it. But you have to use a complete square. If not this one, we can use this one. It's not limited to which square to start. It is about using the edges. It has to pass precisely through this. So this is the precision passage. Okay, but where is it coming from? We don't have a square yet. Angle is correct. This one, no. This one, so this red to this red, it hits precisely to this guy. And what are we expecting market to go? Look at this. Now what we can do after this, now I haven't drawn it properly, right? Let's do it exactly and properly. Because remember, as things pass by, this is precise one. If you want to move a little bit, you can do some cheating little bit, so you can hit the pivot. Not like this halfway, or not like this. It's little, maybe one dot is fine as long as we hit it. Remember, this we're dealing with Sunday open. Okay, there we go. Now what we are seeing here, that market is going to go here, right? Okay, in the morning you come here. If you want to do it precisely, it doesn't really matter. Little bit of tick, because we are looking to work on the other side, right? That's all there is. So comes here, goes there. Perfect. Now this is missing, as I said again, this is missing. If you want to do it this way, that's fine. So we know where we are heading, and what is sitting here are these lines right there. These are the lines which will hold for that moment in time. That is exactly, you got to trade this lines. So we have qualified it precisely where you are trading. From here to here is 109 points. 109 points. 100 points on a lot, $2,000. 10 is 20, 10 is 20, 40, 60. Initially you will not be able to get there. You get 200, 200, 200, 200, 100 points with one MNQ. And it will cross one square. It does cross. So idea is to get the top and the square, everything coming together like here. One square is one MNQ, $200. This is $200, right? So next month you can do 400, 400, 400. Third month you can do 800, 800. After 1 year, you got the math, right? It's already happening. It's already happening. People are doing it. So can you. All right. So my friends, okay, let's do this and wrap it up. So I'll get the line going first. What I am after, big bar. Okay. If I beam this line, I want to be, this is a very big bar to the tick, so it is bouncing from the price square 108, but we have not qualified it properly. It's missing, right? It is missing means it's gonna miss on other sides too. This is where you cannot get sloppy on it, right? So I know I need this slope, but I need to make sure that I have a square as well. So if I put it here, this is what I want, right? But I need to, this is what has to happen. All right, so let's stick with that and say, okay, I want to use this slope. If I'm using this prior day, this is not happening, this is not happening. I can't use this day because it's too late. So what else can I do? Can I go to the prior one? So that is the only adjustment you have to make, right? Okay, because remember, this is a fixed grid, which means once I have the slope, my job is to qualify this. Okay, anything else we can do better than this? Let's check quickly, right? Not this square this day, not this square, it won't do anything. How about this one? Not doing anything. This one not doing anything, right? So this is not going to be coming from this day if I'm targeting this guy. So we have to go to the previous day. So this day, nothing is giving us this precision. Okay, so we go to the prior day. Slope is still the same, right? This is natural slope. Okay, this one looks good to me. This is all I can find. Okay, this is going through this, this is going through this, this is going through this, and it hurts. Now this is hitting it, bouncing very hugely. What I'm expecting, it'll come down, retest on the other side. And what is happening on the other side? This is late night again. Come back next day, it is on this side, right? Precisely. Again, I'm qualifying my lines, and what I'm expecting, 108 points. $2,000 with one, $2,000 with one, $2,000 with one, $2,000 with one contract. Okay. This is from red to red, $2,000 per contract. This one bounced from here. We are trading from, excuse me, right here, $2,000. A little bit difficult, but so these are the entry, these are exit, entry and exit. So how I'm qualifying this in this methodology is what I just showed you. Just have to exactly enter in one area, one line, and wait for the next one. And this is what is helping us with the confidence to achieve that goal. It's not about showing up at 9:30 and saying, okay, let's go, guys, let's go. You can, but for that, I think you watched my prior video, which is very aggressive on 5 minutes. This is 1 hour. So you have this, either you can use this as a context of qualification, and then you can trade it on adding the two methods together, where we blink Pluto and Uranus beams along with these beams. I hope this makes sense. How about today? Anything else we can do for today? Excuse me. What can we do? I'm trying to adjust my mic. I apologize. So here, how about today? Right? This is today. This market went up. We had a view of going long for the reasons using the oscillator and that's being on this. Anyway, so contracts are being collected. It's going long, but you came here. What are you going to do here? Right? Go long. So is there anything else we can do here to give us an entry, right? So our qualification is, I don't see any big bar is here, right? Do we see any other big bars here? We saw this big bar. Okay, let's see what we can do. So anything what am I looking for? A big bar pivot. This is a big bar pivot. As you can see, this is big enough bar. Why it is big? Because it looks very small compared to other bars. This is almost 108 points single bar. Okay, so can I hit it through some squaring mechanism? And there, I think I see this one. If I go to this red to red, I have to adjust it a little bit. Going from here to here. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my headset by opening my jaws. I apologize. Alright friends, so I think this is a huge bar of interest. Now, even though it's not a pivot, that's the only thing, one of the things I will draw like this. Again, this is another add-on to your knowledge base which we got to test, and there it is, another one. So coming in this day, I said okay, oops, coming in this day I need a square. Am I getting this square to precisely hit it? I'm not getting any square, right, on this one. What is going on? All right. So using the prior day, this is one of the biggest bar we saw. This is also a big bar we saw. I need to beam it, not force it, beam it. So first thing I do is go to the prior day's squares, which has much more impact, or let's go back to the previous square. I'll not go back 10 days, never. Last 1 or 2 days, extreme I go back to 3 days. Alright, so what do? We don't see anything going on here, we don't see anything going on there. Okay, so this is the only thing I saw was this, but it went through this big bar, and we can say it's going to reflect on the other side, and this is where I think the only thing we could have done, because remember, when we have a big days like this, it cools off a little bit, right? And then if it is cooling off sideways a lot, it takes off. Sideways, move sideways. This is generating the market profile, POCs. This is going initiative moves. Alright, we'll talk about those things later, but for now, you got this idea. This red to red. Okay, that's all we have. So market was coming here. It hit the line. It is loving those lines. The diagonal square, half a square lines. This is what we were expecting. It did not get there, came very close. We'll not take it. That's fine. If you want to take it on the line, this is fine. This is your stop loss. But we know this is a square of interest. This is coming from the bottom. If it's touching here, it gets here. Touching here is better. That's what we need for precision trading. Second part is market is going from this. It hit it from this square. The square. This is missing here as well. Anyways, but you can see it's pretty close, right? So, is there anything better we can do? We can check it out. That's all. We have to do this basic hard-code analysis. There's nothing else is going to pass it. So when I go down, got to do it properly, end to end, projected end to end. This held. Market is just going sideways, and we know this is going to happen, right? What happens next? We got this square. Okay, and then what we are saying is that now this is much higher, this is much lower. This is a square of interest. On the top, this is the whole area. I think it looks like this whole this area and these two areas we are going to trade. So long here and short here. Now what about the retest on the other side scenario? So when we are going to trade that one, break, retest on the other side. So our edge is going short. Okay, and then let's bring the oscillator in the last stage. So I think we spend a lot of time. I can do all this very quickly in seconds, but it won't help you. so I have to spend a lot of time where you'll be doing in real life. I'm trying to simulate real life situations where you are facing sideways difficulties, big bar difficulties, and then very clear entries, right? Precise entries you'll get. So now we're dealing with all conditions, but this is able to handle this. And what we are trying to achieve is, by doing this, qualify a single tool. Single tool right here. How to use these lines properly. Using a same color box. Can we do better? Sure we can. So if you merge the two videos of Uranus, Pluto and this methodology, you have a very strong thing, right? So if you want to break and retest on the other side, there we go. Most likely you'll be trading break on the other side, because remember, these are the lines broken. They just get in panic and go back to hug it. Break, test, retest on the other side. Break, retest on the other side. We already did this break, retest on the other side, right? Break, retest on the bigger side. Now we are saying break this one, break, retest on the other side. Here we're doing double thing. It broke, it came back, retest on the other side. Now it is very simple, just by me showing you, by even spending so much time, 40 minutes on simple trend line itself, using and doing it a unique way. Still have to go back and test. To go back and test 1 year should not take more than 4 hours, and that I think should help you tremendously. Going back to the oscillator, let's do this one oscillator. Let's do contract tracker. Let's make this bigger. So we can see this. I apologize. So we're using number of contracts trade on each side, and we know where they are going to be rotating on the other side. Okay, top lines, charts. This is a chart area. That's why we talk about area. Now we know it is collecting contracts for a while. Okay, going back to this situation, we're talking about when market goes sideways. It only is not moving 300 points ATR, but it is moving on a weekly basis. Is moving on daily basis is moving 300 ATRs based on 14-day ATR. Weekly it is moving 700 or so ATR. All right, just know all these things. Now here we have reached a short area. See that? This beam is coming. We are here, and by using our Uranus and Pluto lines, we can qualify this further. There we go. But if you're just dealing with this guy, there it is. Retest on the other side, there it is. Here, retest on the other side, there it is. Plus we also discussed the laws of faster moving, right? If you are moving faster in time, something else happened. If you're moving faster in price, something else happened, because remember, if that happens, if it's not moving 1:1 ratio in time and price, if one side has taken over, other side has to collapse. So it becomes a rectangular shape. All right, so if it is moving fast, which indirectly means it won't spend too much time, it will come back It'll revert. That's why the panic moves are the best moves to catch. Moves, let me just I think I can get rid of those things now. We talked about it in the previous video. When you're moving fast into something, we know what the something is. It's already qualified as well, right? Okay, but this qualification might take a little bit of 100 points. You will not be able to sustain this to go and take 1000 points. So what am I saying? We're saying is we should get in the habit of taking these parabolic moves, because when that is happening, we are moving a lot in price. We want to stay there a lot in time. Well, we are doing this consumption of a square. The square is now becoming a rectangle. It was a square like this. It has been chopped into this shape. That means we want to stay there longer. That's why these panic moves are the best moves, which we die for. We wait for these panic moves to come. You wait for these panic moves to show up. You wait for the panic moves to show up. So this is the reason when the big bars are initiating something and is moving into our levels very fast. That means you don't have to be sitting sideways longer in pain for trade to work out. Faster you move, less distance you stay in time. So my friends, here we are, 45 minutes. 4 plus 5 is 9. Let's call it a night, and we shall continue tomorrow and continue thereafter as we bring critical information for your success. Thank you so much.